Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Factorio Tutorials. My name is Root Negative, and let's get cracking. Today we're going to be talking about trains, all things trains, and how to build them, how to design them, how to get a system that is 1. Easy to use, 2. Expandable, 3. Effective. That's what we're aiming for. Now, first things first, loops are bad, okay? If it contains loops, it's no good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through how to actually build a really nice train network, and I'm going to show that by demonstrating my base that I've been working on in Break the Game with Colonel Will and a few other helpful people. Now, to build a good train system, you only need 3 blueprints, okay? Once you have 3 blueprints, you're set. So, on the left, this is a train loading station, okay? What you do is you just blueprint this, you make sure you include the train station because that will give you the exact placement required for your locomotives and then your wagons. Very, very important. This is a train loading station. So, unloading, loading. So, it only does one or the other. Now, the reason they're set up like this is these belts are designed so that you get equal distribution between each of the wagons. You'll notice that there's 6 here. Over here, however, we unload with 7 per wagon. So if there's 4 wagons, we'll get 7 inserters onto them and we'll unload in this way. Now, a couple of key points. Number 1, smart inserters. Very important, very easy if you are doing trains for a train to lob up into the wrong station, or if your train or your outpost happens to pick up some random materials, it will just throw it into the train and that can end up all the way through your main bus. So it is advised to set filter inserters or smart inserters at both ends, so on the loading side and on the unloading side as well. So that's that. Next thing is a T-Junction. This is a pre-designed T-Junction. It's got chain signals. It is effectively undeadlockable, which is very important. And this allows our system to be expandable. Let's move over to the base and I'll show you how all of this works in practice. Oh, before we get to that though, station design. Let's talk briefly about station design. Now, you'll notice that in all advanced players run their stations east-west, not north-south, and here's why. If we notice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit. Okay, that's the length of the train. This might seem a little bit dumb. Why am I counting the length of a train? Let me show you this. I'll zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. So there's 5 there, there's 6 and a bit here. Trains are longer, I'll say it again, trains are longer when they're east-west. The reason you want them longer is so that you can get more inserters onto the wagons. In terms of how we design our trains, it needs to be double headers, okay, so 1 at each end of the train. In between, you can run any number. You can run a 1, 1, 1. So that would actually look like this. If I backed it up. No, it's either V or G. I don't... Nope, G. There we go. So that's a 1, 1, 1. They're quite fast. They don't carry many resources. 1.5k of ore. That's all it's got. If I jump forward a little bit. 1, 2, 1. Okay, these are fast. 3k of ore. If I disconnect, go forward. Generally a 1, 4, 1. So with, oops. There we go. That's a 1, 3, 1. Of course it cannot be mined. There's something underneath it. Hello. Generally a 1, 4, 1 is what you want. That is a pretty good amount of resources coming through. That's 6k per trip. If you really want to get serious, you can run a 262. That's 9k per minute, or 9k per trip, and that's ridiculous. You obviously need your stations to suit. So, trains are different lengths. That's how you want to design your trains, an engine at each end, okay? Now, we have the copper unloading. Now, I'll show you this. I've only got it on one side, because this is kind of the Mark 1 version of the unloading station. Now, as trains come in, okay, they're just set to come to copper unload. They come in, the filter inserters do their thing, they make sure it's all full. Now this is set to go to copper southeast. Now as I build outposts and as I expand, all I do is I go out, I'll build the outpost, for example, copper southeast. I'll come out here, build the outpost, stamp down my little loading station rather, T-Junction, hook it into the main line, and then from there I just set the train to return back to copper unload, and it'll just keep doing that. And the compression that you can get is quite amazing. You can see that these are dropping off 6,000 ore. Well, that was 12,000 ore just sitting around waiting. So you can add more stations as you go along, and you get more advanced. So this is how the double header system works, and it is much better than loops. Okay, you can add anything to it. I can jump in a train and go to anywhere in the system. Okay, so let's say I wanted to go, where's somewhere close? Let's go out to this iron outpost, Pax Iron East. Now, pro tip, if you put a hash before the station name, it'll bring it to the top of the station. So we're going to move off now, and we're going to talk about how this train system has evolved. Basically, it started off as one station and one line, and that's actually the line here that runs across the top. Originally, it was an iron line, and we have split spurs off it and taken it to each place that we need it to go. We just come along, stamp a T-junction, go do our thing, hook it in the main line, job done. There's no massive amount of brain work to add things to it. You just stamp a T-junction, do your thing, and then you're done. There's nothing really much to it. And you see here that this comes off the main line. Now, PAX stations stand for player access. When you get into a decent sized map, you can see that this is getting quite a decent size. To run from here to here would take a lot of time. That's the main factory. Copper going by. And what we'll do is we'll continue to expand this and take it out to the different areas. For example, where was it? See down here, I'm starting to put in a new outpost for copper southeast. So basically, again, just a T-junction, run the spur off, set up the station, drop the blueprints down, and hook the two things up, and we're going to be golden. We also do it for oil, and this is how you have a very, very good design for your trains. If you try and do it in loops, it's going to be very, very hard, and it's not going to expand, and you're not going to be able to go to wherever you want. I think that that's everything that I really wanted to cover. I just wanted to show how well this works. Actually, let's just I'll send that to PAX Engineering, and I'll see if I can jump this train. Got it. You can see this has got 3,000 ore on it, and that's because that outpost is quite close. The way the trains work in the double header system is very straightforward, and it's very, very easy to understand. I missed. The expandability of the train station or the train system is very important, and by not having to run loops, I can just add more and more and more, keep adding trains to them until we get to the stage where we have enough trains for the number of outposts. You see here we do the same thing with coal. We just bring it in and then throw it on the main bus, comes down into the factory. Stone, do the same thing. So this is how you do it. That is trains. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've got any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial, and it should be fun.